So, real quick, just a couple things. The other day, when we were working on this, all right, like we're attempting to go off the plans. We're trying to do our best here as far as modeling the foundation as it's shown in the plans. All right. I said you don't have to do the windows and you don't have to do the walls, or sorry, the doors. You do have to do the walls. Thank you, Paul. All right. So, other than that, though, like we're attempting to get the concrete walls shown to the right thickness. We're trying to put the footings in. We want to attempt to have like the levels for each of the different walls where they're supposed to be, right? So one of the things that I had you guys do just the other day was like split up that one back wall, all right? And then the couple walls that go around the garage, we want to make sure that they're associated with a level that's representative of the height that those garage foundation walls would be at. All right, so I had those at -5 feet. I think I had you guys put in reciprocal values there. All right, and then the other thing that we did was we used our structure tab and our foundation tool, specifically like that wall foundation tool, all right, to put footings underneath each of the different foundation walls. All right, one thing I would like for you guys to do though, all right, the default footings that you put in, and I don't think I made you do it the other day, I would like you to go back and just kind of tweak this really quick. The footings that you put in were probably a little bit oversized, okay? So here's the rule for footings. Footings should be, all right, thickness-wise, like the height of the footing should be the same thickness as the wall. So if you're using 8-inch thick walls, the footings themselves should be 8 inches thick. All right, if you're using 10-inch walls, they should be 10 inches thick, okay? As far as like the width of them, it should be double that number, all right? So if it's an 8-inch wall, it should be a 16-inch wide footing. If it's a 10-inch wall, it should be like a 20-inch wide footing, all right? So to change your footings over, all right, or add new footings or kind of change the parameters of the footings, maybe even rename them, we're going to pick any of the footings that are in the project. We're going to hit Edit Type. You're going to come in here. You're going to duplicate that existing type. So you have these footings that are in there. We can rename them so it's something that you can remember. All right, so we'll say like footing. Let's just do one for the 8-inch wall. So an 8-inch wall footing or an 8-inch footing is going to be 16 inches by 8. You can get rid of that number 2 at the end. Once you change the name of it, now you can change its parameters. So again, we can just come back in. You can make it 16 inches wide. You can make it 8 inches tall. All right, so the footing itself is going to be a little bit smaller on like that 8-inch wall. Okay, so that's one thing that I would like for you to do. So if you could go around and you could change those footings up, that would be awesome. All right, and then let's see. Our wall type seems to be a little bit bigger. This is like an older project. All right, so for an 8-inch wall, that's what we're shooting for the footing. So you could correct that for all of your other types. At that point, like once you have that footing type in, you can just change it over. All right, so your footings will be a little bit smaller. So the main benefits to that, you have a footing that's properly sized for the wall that it's going to support. Okay, it's below the frost line. It's not going to get upset. You end up saving a little bit of money on concrete and stuff too. Okay, so the concrete's pretty expensive and we can save money on that pour. So there you go for that one. Next up, we need some slabs. So you guys need like concrete floor slabs that are put in there. All right, there is a slab tool. You can use this. All right, if you're more comfortable over here with just the floor tool, you can still, on the floor tool, you can put in basement floors. It's fine. All right, so if you use the floor tool, we click on the little down arrow. You should have one concrete floor slab option that's already set up for you. It's 4 inches thick. That's perfect. All right, so check this out. Just watch on the screen really quick. Ready? Let's put a concrete floor slab in where the garage is going to be. All right, so we're just going to come in here. You literally have to just select the interior lines inside the garage, little green check mark button, go back to 3D and check the height. Okay, so for this one, the floor slab should be where the car is going to pull into the garage. All right, if you just think about levels, that's going to be, I think we called -1'3", we just called that our ground. All right, so that particular slab should be up at ground level. All right, so that's where your car is going to park. The floor slab in here, all right, in the main basement, in the full basement, should actually sit right on top of the toe of the footing. All right, so for that one's going to be a little bit different. That one we can put in the basement. All right, we can do the same thing. We'll go right back to floor tool. If you're drawing with lines, you're using that concrete floor slab, you can literally just pick all of the interior sides of the wall because you're pouring inside of here. So that's one. There's technically going to be, I guess, one in this little cold storage area too. So you could do them both at the same time, or you could do them separate. It's up to you. All right, when you put that in there, that one's on the basement level. And then here's the one little caveat, okay? So if I use the section box and take a look at that, just for modeling accuracy, all right, this is kind of like a physical impossibility. That floor slab can't actually sit in the same exact place that the toe of the footing's going to be. So it needs to sit up on top of it, all right? So if it's on the basement level and the computer drew it so that the extrusion went like underneath or went down, you should really just offset that floor 4 inches up above where it was drawn, all right? So if you use the offset parameter in there and you just pop in 4 inches, now your basement's actually set up the way that it was supposed to be set up, right? So you have, I guess we should change all these over too. Let's change these over. These should be a little bit smaller. There we go. All right, so now you actually have your floor slab sitting up on top of the toe of the footing inside of the wall, all right? And that's your basement modeled out, okay? Do that first. Go over a couple more things as far as like cleaning up the plans, but you guys can do that. I'll post that up on YouTube. You guys can watch it when you need to.